look, this is the key to it all, because you have not seen anything like this.
No, this looks awesome, man. This is the Pure Performance Pre-Runner kit. It's got the 8-inch lift, but I've only seen it in black before, man. How did you get it in white?
I have some stroke around here, man. I made some phone calls. I said, guys, it comes in black, but we would really like to have the white one. We want a one-off, right? Can you hook me up? They said, who is this? I said, Matt Steele. Who? I said, Bruno's co-host. They said, boom.
Dropped my name again, didn't you?
Yeah, it worked this time. You know, usually.
Be careful who you drop it with.
I know.
But I got to say, man, I'm mildly impressed here because this isn't like you. This is like you actually thought this out.
What are you talking about, dude? I don't know why you're so surprised.
Really?
I mean, I'm right where I want to be with this entire project, dude. Just hitch on and follow me.
I'm jumping on your back on this one, bud. So I'm back up to speed.
Yes, exactly.
All right, I get to join the party now. And the best thing about this party is the fact that he did the hard work. The one cutting you had to do, one piece of it, Matt's already done it. The rest of the kit all bolts into place. That's one of the nice things about this Pure Performance kit. So next thing is mounting this new control arm bracket. So what we're going to do is use the same existing mounting location here and off the back of this, hold on a second, this cross member. So just a matter of get these nuts out of the way, and we can utilize the same bolt and bolt the new one in place. And the whole idea here is to make sure we maintain the proper geometry, and we're going to do that by using all this new bracketry we got from Pure Performance.
As far as these control arms go, the longer ones go on the bottom and the shorter ones go on the top. Now, when you install these and you get everything tied in, it's real important to have that axle centered, and that has everything to do with the length of these arms, and it's adjustable. So the instructions call for a certain distance from the center of the hole here to the center of the hole right here. And on the long side, it calls for 37.5 inches, which is right there where it's at. And on the short side, it's calling for 32 5/16. So that is tied in, and we've got everything good. Now, to adjust these, it's pretty simple. You can just spin this end and bit it wherever you need it to be, and then lock it down. Once you get that ready to go, you can go ahead and install these little zert fittings right there. That way you can grease these bushings, and that'll keep them lasting for a long time. Now, a good little idea is when you put this arm in, make sure that the zert fitting is on the bottom side. That way, it's real easy to get to when you want to grease it.
All right, so we've got all our hardware set in place and nice and loose on our bracketry. This way we've got some wiggle room we go to put these control arms in. Hold on, I got this one, bud.
You sure?
Yeah, you get the heavy one.
Oh, I know. I know.
So we'll squeeze this up into here. And there we go. The whole idea, we keep it loose, we can get everything set in place and tighten it all down. And one thing you guys want to do is make sure that once we get this stuff in place is tighten down these jam nuts. That's a big mistake a lot of people do is you roll down the road, you see this stuff loose, and what that's going to do is put a bit of a preload on the threads here so they don't wear out going down the road. So our bracket's in place, the control arms are hanging, they're ready to rock. The next thing for us to do is mount up our coilover springs. Before we get these in place, though, we need to take a little bit of a break, but this will go like that. Hey, what do you want to do with that old stuff?
Throw it in the blow-up bin, dude.
Ah, I like that idea.
Yeah, blow-up bin.
Cool.
Always good.
Let me file this then. These reservoirs is to give you control. What it does, it allows the oil from heating up inside the shock. It keeps it nice and cool. It's kind of like putting a radiator on an engine, keeps it running cool, keeps it running more efficient. Same type of deal is going on with these reservoirs. So this is going to be the ultimate setup for this truck.
All right, so with the coilover, the shock, and the control arms all hanging in place and ready to go, all we have to do is slide that front axle back under here and start buttoning everything back up, right? But before we do that, we do have some tabs we need to attach to that axle.
Let's get on that.
We went ahead and TIG welded these brackets into place. Now these are the lower coil spring brackets right over here. You can MIG weld those in, that would be just fine. We just feel like you have a little bit better control with the TIG welder, and we have one, so that's why we went that route. Now you might have seen some smoke boiling off during that whole thing. All that was a little bit of the powder coat burning off. No problem, no need to call the fire department or anything like that. But then we can run this bolt down here, and we can tie in the coilovers right there. Right on the back side is the lower stock shock mount right there, so that'll be there. And then on the back side of the whole axle housing, that's where the arms will tie back in too. So I can really envision how this is all going to be tied back together. All I've got to do is get this over there.
So we've got our lower shock mounts welded onto our axle assembly. That's all set in place. We've got it pretty well aligned right now. The idea is you know, we want to do this in steps to get everything attached once again. We've got our upper control arms. Those are set in place. Now what we want to do is go ahead and roll the pinion up with the floor jack to get the lower ones there. I think we're pretty close right. Yep, hold on, right there. And what you do is you do either side in place, and what that's doing is giving you the right clearance to go ahead and get it set. Once the control arms are all tied down, we're going to go ahead and actually lower the truck down to get our shocks into the mount right here.
I mentioned the track bar relocation bracket, which is right here, so the end of the track bar with the bushing will fit in right here, and that will lay across, and the other end will button in right here. And that'll keep everything good, and that'll keep the axle from sliding left to right. So by the time everything is all hooked up in here, we'll have a really good functioning suspension system that's not going to go anywhere.
All right, we got to hurry up and wrap this all up because those bumpers just got back from powder coat.
Nice. It's about time.
All right.
That's good.
You got this done yet?
No, not yet. I don't.
There we go.